This is a romantic comedy filled with funny coincidences and life situations in which the characters find themselves trying to sort out their feelings and find happiness. The story unfolds in London, and in the center of the narrative is a group of friends, each of whom faces certain difficulties in their personal lives. The main character, Jamie, is a young and stylish woman who works as an assistant editor of a fashion magazine. She is a hopeless romantic and dreams of true love, despite the fact that her own personal life is full of failures. Jamie is cheerful and upbeat, eager to help her friends settle into their personal lives, even though her own relationships are far from ideal. Her last romance ended badly, and now she is focused on helping others. One of the main objects of her concern becomes her neighbor and best friend, a gay man named Peter. Peter, being open and free in his outlook, is also in search of love, but is not too confident and is constantly analyzing his actions. He is a bit clumsy and often doubts that he can be liked by anyone. Jamie decides to help Peter find the perfect man and finds Sebastian a handsome and successful actor. She sincerely believes that they are perfect for each other and arranges for them to meet, confident that everything will work out perfectly. However, the problem is that Sebastian, although attractive, is straight and has no interest in men, which creates the first awkward situation. Meanwhile, Jamie's life is also changing. She begins to feel sympathy for her new colleague Paolo, who has just started working in the newsroom. Paolo is a mysterious and attractive Italian man who at first glance seems to be exactly what she has always been looking for. Jamie gradually begins to realize that she is attracted to him, but tries not to give away her feelings for fear of further disappointment. Paolo, on the other hand, seems withdrawn and not very open, which only adds to the intrigue and makes Jamie question whether she has a chance with him. Another important character in the movie is Tallulah, an eccentric and energetic girl who works in the same editorial office. She is a bright and unusual personality, always in the center of attention, and her attitude to life is completely different from Jamie. Tallulah is not afraid to be outspoken and says what she thinks regardless of the consequences. She supports Jamie but often wonders why she spends so much energy on other people and not on herself. Tallulah is an integral part of Jamie's social circle and is also involved in her adventures. Things start to get complicated when Jamie accidentally discovers that Paolo is actually gay. Her world is turned upside down as all her plans and expectations are shattered in an instant. She realizes that she has fallen in love with a man who will never be able to reciprocate, and it becomes a big blow to her. However, Jamie is not the type to suffer defeat for long, and soon she decides to help Paolo just as she helped Peter find the perfect partner for him. At the same time, Paolo begins to feel sympathy for Peter, but because of his reticence and insecurity he hesitates to make the first move. Peter, who still hopes to meet Sebastian, finds himself trapped in his own illusions. Both characters find themselves in a confusing situation, where no one can directly express their feelings, and all this leads to a series of funny and touching moments. Unexpectedly, the situation escalates when Jamie learns that her ex-boyfriend wants to resume the relationship again. He does her unexpected suggestion that puts it in front of complex choice: return to the past or continue to seek new love. This moment becomes key for heroine as it realizes that it should make the choice between habitual comfortable and unknown future. Simultaneously with this, Peter finally recognized Paolo in their senses, and it leads to the scene of the full ridiculous understatement and sincere confessions. Their relationship finally begin to develop and each of them learn to be more open and confident in their feelings. Jamie, observing as its friends find their happiness, begins to understand that for her most important not to try to control someone else's fate, to focus on their own happiness. The story ends on an optimistic note where all the characters find their answers and come to realize that love is not just a set of circumstances, but a feeling that requires courage and honesty with oneself. Jamie finally realizes that she herself is worthy of love and that her happiness depends only on herself. In the final scene of the movie, she decides to give a chance to a new acquaintance, leaving behind her previous doubts and fears. The movie is a light and cheerful story about the search for love, friendship, and how important it is to be honest with yourself and not be afraid of changes in life.